Over 60? 6 nocturnal moves a 94-year-old Japanese trainer recommends. No gym. Senior health. Have you noticed that your muscles seem smaller than they were a few years ago? That you get tired more quickly doing the same activities? Or that the feeling of strength and vitality you once had is simply no longer there? If you're over 60 and experiencing these changes, know one thing: you are not alone. And more importantly, there is a scientifically proven solution. What you're experiencing has a name: sarcopenia. It's the progressive loss of muscle mass that happens naturally with aging. But here's the good news that will change everything. Sarcopenia is not a sentence. It can be prevented and even reversed. Scientific studies show that between 5% and 13% of people aged 60 to 70 are affected by sarcopenia. And that number rises to up to 50% among those 80 years or older. But you know what science has also discovered? People who do regular resistance exercises can increase their muscle strength by up to 30 to 40%, even after 60, 70, or 80 years old. Let that sink in for a moment. No matter your age right now, your body still has an incredible capacity to grow stronger. Today, I want to introduce you to an extraordinary woman who is living proof of this. Her name is Takishima Mika, affectionately known in Japan as Taki Mika. She's 94 years old. And she's not just an active senior. She's a certified personal trainer who teaches others how to move, stay strong, and live with vitality. But here's the most inspiring part. Mika began her fitness journey at 65 years old. That's right, she was 65 when she took her first step. She wasn't an athlete. She was a housewife who had gained weight and felt uncomfortable in her own body. If Mika could start at 65, and today, at 94 years old, is stronger and healthier than many people decades younger, what does that say about what's possible for you? Mika's philosophy is simple but powerful. You don't age because you're old. You age because you stop moving. And today, I'm going to share with you 6 simple nocturnal moves that Mika recommends, exercises she herself practices every night before bed. These aren't complicated exercises. You don't need a gym, you don't need expensive equipment, you don't even need to leave your home. These are gentle, safe, and scientifically proven movements to combat sarcopenia and rebuild muscle mass, improve your balance and prevent falls, increase your mobility and flexibility, strengthen your bones, improve your sleep quality, and give you more energy and independence in your daily life. I know you might be thinking, is it too late for me? The answer from science is clear: no. Research shows that even people who have never exercised in their lives can start after 60, 70, or even 80 years old and still see impressive results. A Japanese study followed 88 people aged 70 or older who did simple exercises at home for just 12 weeks. By the end, they not only gained muscle mass, they also reduced abdominal fat and improved their overall health. And they did this with bodyweight exercises, no equipment, in less than 15 minutes a day. You can do this. So today, I'm going to guide you step by step through these 6 nocturnal movements that Mika Takishima recommends. I'll explain exactly how to do each exercise safely. You'll see images and clear demonstrations so there are no doubts. And by the end of this video, you'll have a complete routine you can start today. A routine that can change your life the same way it changed Mika's life and thousands of others around the world. Before we begin, I need to give you an important reminder. This video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace professional medical advice. If you have any health condition or concern, please consult your doctor before starting any new exercise routine. That said, let's begin this journey together. If you're ready to reclaim your strength, your mobility, and your independence, if you're ready to prove that age is truly just a number, Then stay with me until the end of this video. Your body will thank you. Let's go.
The first movement that Mika Takishima practices every night is deep diaphragmatic breathing, using the 4-7-8 technique. And before you think, but breathing isn't exercise, let me explain why this is possibly the most important movement of all. As we age, our lung capacity naturally decreases. Many of us develop the habit of breathing shallowly, using only the chest, which provides less oxygen to the body and can cause stiffness in the rib cage and weakness in the respiratory muscles. But here's what science has discovered. Deep breathing doesn't just improve lung function, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's rest and digest system. This reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, lowers blood pressure, improves sleep quality, and prepares your body for the following exercises. And there's more. Studies show that diaphragmatic breathing before bed can significantly reduce anxiety, improve sleep quality in people with insomnia, and even help control chronic pain by increasing blood flow. Now let's get to the exercise. First, find a comfortable position. You can do this sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or lying in bed, whatever is most comfortable for you. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen, just below your ribs. This will help you feel if you're breathing correctly. Now gently close your eyes and exhale all the air from your lungs through your mouth, making a soft ah sound. Close your mouth and inhale slowly through your nose while counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your abdomen rise. The hand on your belly should rise first, while the hand on your chest remains relatively still. Now hold your breath while counting to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't force it, just hold the air comfortably. Finally, exhale completely through your mouth while counting to 8, making that soft ah sound again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let all the air out slowly. That's one complete cycle. Repeat this cycle 5 to 10 times. In the beginning, you may do only 3 or 4 cycles if you feel a bit dizzy. This is normal. Your body is receiving more oxygen than it's used to. Over time, you'll be able to do more repetitions comfortably. What you should feel, a sense of calm spreading through your body, your shoulders relaxing, perhaps even a slight tingling, all signs that your nervous system is entering relaxation mode. This exercise is especially important for combating sarcopenia because well-oxygenated muscles recover better and respond better to training. When you breathe deeply, you're literally feeding your muscles with the oxygen they need to stay strong and healthy. Mika Takishima has been doing this exercise every night for almost 30 years, and at 94 years old, her lung capacity and energy are remarkable. You've just completed the first movement. If you have any doubts about how to do it correctly, rewind the video now and redo the movements before moving forward. It's important that you master each exercise to get the best results. When you're ready, let's move on to the second movement. The second movement we're going to learn is the assisted chair squat, an adapted and safe version of the traditional squat, perfect for doing before bed. Now, you might be thinking, squats, isn't that too intense for nighttime? But let me explain why this exercise is absolutely essential, especially when we talk about sarcopenia. Your legs contain the largest muscle groups in your body: your quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and calves. And you know what happens as we age? These muscles are the first to suffer from sarcopenia. Studies show that after age 50, we can lose up to 50% of the muscle fibers in our legs by age 80. And why does this matter so much? Because the strength of your legs directly determines your independence. Weak leg muscles mean greater risk of falls, difficulty getting up from chairs, problems climbing stairs, and eventually loss of mobility. But here's the excellent news. Squats are considered by scientists to be one of the most effective exercises for reversing sarcopenia in the legs. They work multiple muscle groups simultaneously, stimulate the production of muscle growth hormones, strengthen bones through controlled impact, and improve balance and coordination. Research shows that older adults who practice squats regularly, even light versions like the one we're going to do now, can increase leg strength by up to 40% in just 12 weeks. And the nighttime version that Mika uses is perfect because it's gentle enough to not disrupt your sleep, but effective enough to maintain and build muscle strength. Now, let's get to the exercise. First, position yourself facing a firm and stable chair, a chair that doesn't have wheels and is against a wall for extra security. The chair will serve as your support. Stand in front of the chair with your feet shoulder-width apart. Your feet should be fully supported on the floor, pointing slightly outward. Extend your arms in front of you to help with balance, or, if you prefer, you can lightly hold onto the back of the chair for more support. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, take a deep breath through your nose. As you exhale through your mouth, begin to bend your knees and lower your hips slowly, as if you were sitting in the chair. Keep your back straight, your chest slightly up, and make sure your knees don't go past the line of your toes. Lower only as far as you feel comfortable. It could be just a few inches, it could be almost sitting. The important thing is not to go very low, but to do the movement in a controlled and safe way. When you reach your lowest position, pause for 1 or 2 seconds. Feel your leg muscles working. Now inhale again, and using the strength of your legs, push through your heels to rise back to the starting position. If you need to, use the hands on the back of the chair to help. We're building strength, not proving anything to anyone. That's 1 complete repetition. Start with 5 repetitions. If that's too easy, do 8 repetitions. If it's challenging, do only 3. Listen to your body. Over time, you'll naturally be able to do more repetitions and go a bit lower each week. What you should feel: a sensation of work in your thighs, glutes, and perhaps in your calves. You may feel a slight warmth in your muscles. That's blood flowing to feed the muscle fibers. This is exactly the sign that you're fighting sarcopenia. An important tip: do this movement slowly. Japanese studies have shown that slow, controlled movements, about 4 seconds to go down and 4 seconds to come up, are as effective as using heavy weights, but much safer for older adults. Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, still does squats every night, and she attributes the strength of her legs, which allows her to walk 4 kilometers and run 3 kilometers every morning, to this simple exercise practiced consistently over the years. You've just completed the second movement. If you have any doubts about the correct position or felt any discomfort, rewind the video and review the exercise. Remember, correct form is more important than number of repetitions. When you're ready, let's move on to the third movement. Exercise 3. Lateral arm raises with briefing. The third movement that Mika Takishima practices every night is arm raises with deep breathing. This is a beautiful exercise that combines muscle strengthening with stretching and breath control, a true therapy for body and mind. Let me explain why this exercise is so powerful, especially for combating sarcopenia in the upper body. As we age, it's not just our legs that lose muscle mass. The shoulders, arms, and back are also affected, and often we don't even notice this loss until simple activities like reaching a high shelf, carrying shopping bags, or even combing our hair become difficult. Sarcopenia in the upper body also contributes to poor posture, those drooping shoulders and forward curved stance we see in many older people. And poor posture isn't just an aesthetic issue. It compresses the lungs, reducing breathing capacity, can cause chronic pain in the back and neck, and even affect balance, increasing the risk of falls. But this exercise works on all of this at the same time. It strengthens the deltoids in the shoulders, the trapezius muscles in the back, improves posture by opening the chest,
increases shoulder mobility, and when combined with deep breathing, improves oxygenation and reduces stress. Studies show that arm-raising exercises practiced regularly can improve shoulder range of motion by up to 30%, increase upper body strength, and significantly reduce neck and shoulder pain, very common problems after age 60. Now, let's get to the exercise. You can do this exercise standing or sitting. Choose what's most comfortable. If you choose to stand, keep your feet shoulder-width apart. If you prefer sitting, sit on the edge of a chair with your feet flat on the floor and your back straight. Let your arms relax at your sides with your palms facing inward toward your thighs. Now, inhale deeply through your nose and at the same time begin to raise your arms slowly to the sides, like a bird opening its wings. Keep your arms straight but not locked. A slight relaxation in the elbows is perfect. Continue raising your arms as you inhale until they're at shoulder height, forming a T with your body. If you can lift higher, great. Take them above your head, with your palms meeting at the top, as if you're taking a big celebratory breath. But if raising to shoulder height is already challenging, stop there. Don't force it. Over time, your range of motion will naturally increase. Now, hold this position for 1 or 2 seconds at the top, feeling a gentle stretch in your shoulders and chest. Then exhale slowly through your mouth as you lower your arms back to the starting position, following the same path you came up. Lower slowly, with control, feeling the muscles working throughout the movement. That's 1 complete repetition. Do 8 to 10 repetitions of this exercise. Remember, the movement should be slow and controlled. Each raise should take about 3 to 4 seconds, and each lowering also 3 to 4 seconds. There's no rush. What you should feel is gentle work in the shoulders and upper back. You may feel a pleasant stretch in your chest when your arms are raised, and after a few repetitions, you may feel a gentle warmth in your shoulders, a sign that the muscles are being activated. An important variation that Mika uses, on some repetitions, she holds her arms elevated for 5 to 10 seconds at the top, breathing normally. This transforms the exercise into isometric strengthening, which is excellent for building muscle endurance. This exercise also has a powerful psychological benefit. The act of opening your arms and breathing deeply is associated with feelings of expansion, freedom, and positivity. It's as if you're literally opening yourself to life. Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, maintains an upright and elegant posture that impresses everyone who meets her. And she credits exercises like this, practiced faithfully every night, as one of the secrets to her vitality and absence of pain. You've just completed the 3rd movement. If you felt any difficulty raising your arms to shoulder height or had doubts about the breathing, rewind the video and practice again. Over time, this movement will become increasingly natural and comfortable. When you're ready, let's move on to the 4th movement.
The 4th movement that Mika Takishima practices every night is standing march with high knees. This is an apparently simple exercise but incredibly powerful for activating circulation, strengthening the legs, and improving balance, all at the same time. Let me explain why this exercise is so important, especially when we talk about preventing sarcopenia and maintaining your independence. When we remain sitting or lying down for long periods, something that becomes more common as we age, our blood circulation decreases, especially in the legs. This can lead to ankle swelling, a feeling of heavy legs, and even increase the risk of more serious circulatory problems. But there's another even more critical problem. Inactivity dramatically accelerates sarcopenia. Studies show that just 2 weeks of inactivity can result in significant loss of muscle mass in the legs of older adults. On the other hand, simple movements like marching in place can reverse this process. This exercise works magnificently because it strengthens the hip flexor muscles, the ones you use to lift your legs, activates the core muscles that are essential for balance, improves coordination between legs and arms, gently increases heart rate, improving cardiovascular health, and stimulates blood circulation in the legs, reducing swelling and discomfort. And here's something fascinating. Research shows that older adults who practice standing march regularly have better dynamic balance, the type of balance you need when you're moving, not just standing still. This translates directly into lower risk of falls. A study with people over 70 showed that those who did standing march for just 5 minutes a day improved their walking speed by 15% and their balance by 20% in just 8 weeks. Now, let's get to the exercise. Stand with your feet hip-width apart. If you feel unsteady, position yourself near a wall or the back of a sturdy chair so you can support yourself if needed. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using support. Safety always comes first. Keep your back straight, shoulders relaxed, and look forward, not down. This is important for maintaining balance. Now, start by lifting your right knee toward your chest, as if you were climbing a high step. Try to lift your knee to hype hip if you can, but if that's too challenging, lift only as far as comfortable. The important thing is the movement, not the height. At the same time you lift your right knee, naturally swing your left arm forward, as if you were walking. This helps with balance and makes the movement more natural. Now lower your right leg back to the floor with control and immediately lift your left knee, swinging your right arm forward. Continue alternating legs at a comfortable pace. It doesn't need to be fast. In fact, a moderate and controlled pace is much more effective than marching quickly without control. Do this exercise for 30 to 60 seconds. If you're just starting, 30 seconds is perfect. If you already have more conditioning, go up to 60 seconds. Over time, you can increase to 90 seconds or even 2 minutes. What you should feel: your thigh muscles working with each knee lift, your heart beating a little faster, a healthy sign that you're activating your cardiovascular system, a feeling of warmth in your legs as blood circulates, and perhaps a slight balance challenge that improves with each repetition. Important tips: breathe naturally throughout the exercise, don't hold your breath. If you feel short of breath, slow down or pause for a moment. Keep movements controlled, don't just let your legs drop, lower them with control. And use your arms. The natural swing of your arms not only helps with balance, but also works the upper body. A variation that Mika uses: on some nights, she adds a small 2-second pause when the knee is at the top, maintaining balance on one leg. This transforms the exercise into a greater balance challenge and further strengthens the stabilizer muscles. This exercise is especially important before bed because it stimulates circulation in the legs, which can prevent nighttime cramps, a common problem in older adults. Additionally, by gently activating the heart, you're preparing your body for deeper and more restorative sleep. Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, walks and runs several kilometers every morning. She says that exercises like standing march keep her legs strong, her balance stable, and her circulation perfect, allowing her to do what she loves day after day. You've just completed the 4th movement. If you felt any instability or difficulty lifting your knees, rewind the video and practice with one hand supported on wall or chair. Remember, progressing safely is more important than doing it perfectly from the start. When you're ready, let's move on to the 5th movement.
The 5th movement that Mika Takishima practices every night is leg and hip stretching. This is one of the most underestimated exercises, but absolutely essential for maintaining mobility, preventing stiffness, and combating the effects of sarcopenia in a unique way. Let me explain why stretching is so critical, especially at night, and especially for those over 60. When we talk about sarcopenia, we usually only think about loss of muscle mass, but there's something equally important that happens. Muscles don't just shrink, they also become stiffer and less flexible. Tendons lose elasticity, joints lose range of motion, and this creates a vicious cycle. Stiff muscles limit your movement. Limited movement leads to less activity. Less activity accelerates sarcopenia. Studies show that after age 60, flexibility can decrease by up to 50% if not actively worked on. And the consequence of this is real and serious. Difficulty tying shoes, pain when getting out of bed in the morning, limited range when walking, which increases the risk of falls, and chronic stiffness that can evolve into constant pain. But here's the wonderful news. Unlike muscle mass, which takes weeks to increase, flexibility can improve in days. Research shows that older adults who do daily stretching for just 10 minutes can increase their range of motion by 20% in just 2 weeks. And doing stretches at night has special benefits. It reduces muscle tension accumulated during the day, decreases the risk of nighttime leg cramps, improves sleep quality by relaxing the body, and prepares muscles for the recovery process during the night. Now, let's get to the exercise. This stretch has 3 parts, and we're going to do each one calmly and carefully. First part, calf stretch. Stand facing a wall, about half a meter away. Place both hands on the wall at chest height for support. Step back with your right leg, keeping the right heel on the floor and the leg straight. The left leg in front can be slightly bent. Now, gently push your hips forward, keeping the right heel on the floor. You should feel a stretch in the back of your right calf. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing normally. Don't force it, just feel a comfortable stretch. Now, switch legs and repeat with the left. Second part, quadricep stretch. Stand near a wall or chair for support. Hold the back of the chair with your left hand. With your right hand, hold your right ankle or right foot behind you, bending the knee. Gently pull your foot toward your glutes until you feel a stretch in the front of your thigh. Keep your knees close together. Don't let the bent knee go to the side. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. If you can't reach your ankle, use a towel or belt around your foot to help. There's absolutely nothing wrong with adapting. Now switch legs and repeat with the left. Third part, hip flexor stretch. Stand and take a large step forward with your right leg, as if taking a big walking step. Bend the right knee in front, keeping the left knee in back extended. You can place your hands on your right thigh for support. Now, gently push your hips forward, keeping your back straight. You should feel a deep stretch in the front of your left hip and groin. This is one of the most important stretches because hip flexors become very tight when we spend a lot of time sitting. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathe deeply. Now switch legs and repeat. What you should feel is a sensation of comfortable stretching, never sharp pain. If you feel pain, you're forcing too much. Decrease the intensity. You may feel a gradual release of tension as you hold each position, and at the end, a general sensation of relief and lightness in your legs. Crucial tips for safe stretching. Never force until you feel pain. The stretch should be uncomfortable but tolerable. Breathe deeply throughout the stretch, never hold your breath. Hold each position for at least 20 seconds. The real stretch only begins after the first 10 seconds. Don't bounce or make sudden movements. The stretch should be static and controlled. And be consistent. Flexibility improves with daily practice. An important note about sarcopenia and stretching. When you stretch a muscle, you're also stimulating receptors that tell the brain to keep that muscle active. Muscles that aren't stretched send signals to the brain that they're not needed, and the body begins to break them down. Regular stretching literally tells your body, I need these muscles, keep them strong and flexible. Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, maintains impressive flexibility. She can touch her toes, has full range of motion in her shoulders and hips, and has never had a serious muscle injury. She attributes this to the daily stretching she has done religiously for decades, especially at night before bed. You've just completed the 5th movement. If you felt difficulty with any of the stretches or couldn't maintain balance, don't worry. Use more support, decrease the range, and be patient with yourself. Each day you practice, your body becomes a little more flexible. When you're ready, let's move on to the 6th and final movement.
The 6th and final movement that Mika Takishima practices every night is the single leg balance exercise. This is perhaps the most important exercise of all when we talk about preventing falls, maintaining independence, and combating the devastating effects of sarcopenia. Let me explain why balance is absolutely critical, especially after age 60. Here's a statistic everyone should know.
1 in 3 people over 65 falls at least once a year, and the consequences of these falls are severe. Falls are the leading cause of hip fractures in the elderly, and studies show that up to 50% of people who fracture their hip never recover the same level of independence they had before. But here's what most people don't understand. Falls don't happen because you're old. Falls happen because stabilizer muscles, those small, deep muscles that keep you balanced, weaken due to sarcopenia and lack of use. Think about it. How many times a day do you really challenge your balance? Most of us walk on flat surfaces, hold on to railings, and avoid situations that require balance. And what happens to muscles that aren't challenged? They atrophy. But science shows something extraordinary. Balance exercises can reduce the risk of falls by up to 40%. A study with people between 80 and 99 years old, yes, up to 99 years old, showed that those who practiced balance exercises 3 times a week significantly improved their stability, grip strength, and walking speed. Now let's get to the exercise. This exercise has progressive levels of difficulty. I'll teach all of them, and you choose the level that's appropriate for you right now. First, position yourself near a wall, kitchen counter, or sturdy chair. You'll use this as safety support if needed. Level 1 for beginners. Stand with your feet together. Place one hand lightly on the wall or chair for support. Now, lift your right foot off the floor just a few centimeters, just enough so it's no longer touching the ground. Hold this position for 10 seconds. Your goal is to remain stable without swaying. Breathe normally. After 10 seconds, lower your right foot and repeat with your left foot. Do 3 repetitions on each side. Level 2, intermediate. Same starting position, but now you'll try to do it without touching the wall. Keep your hand close to the wall but not touching, just as safety. Lift your right foot off the floor about 10 centimeters. Hold for 20 seconds. The challenge here is to remain completely stable without help. If you start to lose balance, touch the wall lightly, stabilize yourself, and continue. After 20 seconds, switch to your left leg. Do 3 repetitions on each side. Level 3, advanced. Without any support, stand in the middle of the room. Lift your right foot off the floor and bend your knee, bringing your foot toward your glutes. Hold this position for 30 seconds. Now add an extra challenge. Close your eyes. This removes visual reference and forces your body to use only proprioception to maintain balance. Start with just 5 seconds with eyes closed and gradually increase. Switch to your left leg. Do 3 repetitions on each side. What you should feel. The muscles in the ankle, calf, and thigh of the supporting leg working constantly to make micro adjustments. Your core activated, keeping your trunk stable. And perhaps a slight tremor in the supporting leg, especially if you're just starting. This is completely normal and is a sign that stabilizer muscles are being activated. Crucial tips for safe balance. Always practice near solid support when starting. Don't be ashamed to use the wall. Safety is priority. Look at a fixed point in front of you. This helps immensely with balance. Keep your core engaged, as if preparing to receive a light push in your belly. And breathe normally. Holding your breath worsens balance. A progression that Mika uses, she starts with eyes open, then closes her eyes, and finally she moves her head slowly from side to side while maintaining balance. Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, has balance that impresses professional physical therapists. She can stand on one leg for more than a minute with her eyes closed. And she has never, in almost 30 years of exercise, suffered a fall. She attributes this directly to the balance exercises she practices faithfully every night.
Congratulations! You've just learned the 6 nighttime movements that Mika Takishima, at 94 years old, practices every night to combat sarcopenia and maintain her strength, balance, and independence.
If this video was helpful, Click the like button and subscribe to Senior Horizon channel for more content on how to defeat sarcopenia and live with more strength after 60. See you in the next video.